position. For the final time this morning, we race, and it's a perfect start from Kostoja, who leads into turn one, looks over his right shoulder, as Skulinov on the outside has lost 1, 2, 3, potentially 4 positions. Tiziano Monza up into second place. And a great start by Newman Chief, a Team Baby race, although he's just been passed, pushed out wide off the circuit for the aforementioned, Russian, who's in fourth place in the CRG, Vladimir Ivanikov. He's now the top Russian for Team Drago Kors. He's in third place. Great start by Vladimir. So Kostoja leads them across the line for the first time. The end of lap one. Skulinov in position 4. The Russians third and fourth. Tiziano from Singapore in the Sauber in second place. Kostoja is the race leader. So much attention on this kid. It will be a fantastic fight later this afternoon. Rene Lammers watching on from pit lane, having won pre-final A a few moments ago. About to be joined by one of the drivers on your screen. Kostoja, Monza, and the two Russians, Ivanikov and Gerasim Skulinov. So Ivanikov, Vladimir, for the Drago Kors team, has just been passed by Gerasim in the CRG. Goes back to position 3, not the best start for Skulinov. He was the fastest qualifier on Friday with a time of 54.646. Passes his countrymen, and I use the term man very loosely because these kids are just baby racers. Skulinov now into third. Ivanikov, Emanuele Olivieri. He was the fastest qualifier a week ago, the Formula K junior driver. He's in fifth place ahead of Dries van Langendonk and Enzo Tavanishkul, 12 years of age on Monday. Was the boy from Bangkok, Thailand. He's in seventh, and he's the fastest driver on the circuit. Goes by Joel Pajola, Newman Chi, Alfie Slater, Shinmark, Pagunovic, Bottaro, Martiniello, Lewis Werrell from Lincolnshire, second WSK race. He's in 15th place from Team Hugenton, and Filippo Parmigiani, the Italian, in 17th, the final position at the moment. As the field go down through the chicane, over the ripple strip, this fabulous shot. And then they come onto the straight under the bridge. The sun is shining here at Adria. Monza in second, Skulinov and Ivanikov, the Russians, third and fourth. Closing in on the back of the Singaporean, but Kostoja has not put, I was going to say a foot wrong, let's say a Vega tyre out of place. The Paralin from the Sauber, and then the CRG who goes up the inside, locks up the brakes, does Skulinov. Will cost him a little bit of time and give his countrymen, again loosely using that term, half an opportunity. Now he makes the pass on Tiziano. Skulinov into second place as Ivanikov runs off the track. There is Olivieri in the Formula K. And behind him, it is Enzo who makes the move as well for Team Driver. Olivieri loses a place as the tie goes by. And Zito on the charge goes P5 with 6 laps remaining. The gap still stays 9/10 of a second from Kostoja back to the Russian Gerasim Skulinov. Over the ripple strips, big time goes Vladimir Ivanikov. Was almost sideways WRC style, did not lift, and he's still well inside the top 5. The energy cart is arriving though. Oh, Valfi Slater, Joel Pajola, energy carts plural. There's Olivieri in the Formula K. And Dries van Langendonk right behind. Enzo up the inside. Enzo goes position 4. Olivieri follows him through. As does Dries van Langendonk in the 5.56 Birrelat. Half race distance, pre-final B. Rene Lammers to start on the front row of the grid for the final alongside, well, we'll tell you in 5 laps time. For the moment, it looks as though it will be Kostoja. They can't make inroads on the Spaniard. There's Olivieri in the Formula K. The junior team by Yuri Serafini. On the back of Enzo Tarvanishkel, team driver Chetila Racing. The Sauber of Monza, the CRG of Skulinov, and Kostoya in the Paralin leads. There's Dries van Langendonk now ahead of the Russian, the second Russian, Vladimir Ivanikov. Oliver Shinmark, Joel Pajola, Newman Chi, Alfie Slater, and Alexander Pagunovic for Tingamoto. Some distance behind, but still well within qualifying range. 4 laps now remaining. Kostoya, Skulinov, Monza, Tarvanishkel, and Emanuele Olivieri. The gap, it has not changed. And if Monza makes the move on Skulinov, Kostoya might pull out another 10th or 2 as well, as Olivieri goes down the inside to retake the place from Enzito. Tarvanishkel, the second generation racer. He's back to P5. Dries for the Birla team, being coached this weekend by the legend. That is the 2-time world champion Alessandro Manetti, watching on from pit lane. His young protege from Belgium, there's Vladimir Ivanikov, and then we wait for Oliver Shinmark, Joel Pajola, and Newman Chi for Team Baby Race. Started out of grid 5 and he's now back in 10th place. 3 laps now remaining. Kostoya, it's still 0.8 of a second. They can't catch him. Kostoya, can he take the fight? Up to Rene Lammers in the final later this afternoon. The CRG of Skulinov driving as hard as possible, but they're like a swarm of flies on the back of the Russian. They will not give him a chance to breathe. He skates under brakes in the CRG, still holds the place, and at the same time tries to hold or chase Kostoya. There's the Spaniard. Interesting style, to say the least, from Skulinov. Keeps the foot flat, drifts as he brakes, and he still holds second place. Dries van Langendonk on the back of Tarvanishkel. Ivanikov from Shinmark, Chi, and Joel Pajola. That's the top 10 with 2 laps remaining. The WSK Supermaster Series down into turn 1, round 1 for 2021 as Jedesam looks over his shoulder. Now they're catching him. He's 0.4 of a second ahead is Kostoya. Olivieri down the inside, tries to make the place. Keeps it clean just as Tiziano looks over his shoulder. Skulinov has come from so far back. Christian Kostoya says, "Hola, where did you come from?" The Russian on the back of the Spaniard. Monza, the Singaporean in the Sauber there as well. Don't discount Olivieri as they come down into the hairpin to get the last lap board this time round. Vladimir Ivanikov struggling to stay with, but he's still in a strong 7th place. Will qualify for the final. Unfortunately, we have lost the Canadian Jensen Burnett, the boy from Toronto in Canada, and also Leonardo Liuzzi. Their weekend is now over. This is the last lap of the race. Skulinov takes the lead. Monza pushes him through, and Kostoya, after leading from the start, is now back into 3rd, possibly 4th. The Russian in the CRG now plays his cards. Monza locks up the brakes, loses time. Kostoya in all sorts of trouble now. Skulinov slides again into the sweeper. The CRG, the Formula K. Kostoya will not win the pre-final. It's looking good for the CRG. Looks over his right shoulder. Turns in early as Monza from Singapore closes the door on the tie. Tarvanishkel into the final corner. The checkered flag is about to wave for the CRG. Just of Jedesam Skulinov wins it by 0.05 of a second to join Rene Lammers on the front row of the grid for the final.